You've authored a book called Bloodline. It's the story of what you have done. And if I had to sum up what I think is powerful about your book, what you say is, dads matter.
Absolutely. I think father absence is the biggest problem facing our world today. And the biggest...
This audience agrees.
And the absence of Jesus in young people's lives and stuff is just a tremendous detriment to our kids. And I came from Selma, Alabama. I came from a church family, and my father came up to Minneapolis, and he left the church. And that's what started destroying our family. And as more of our families moved up, the wolves of the community came after us, you know, pimps and drug dealers, gang members. And we became the largest gang ever in the state of Minnesota. They called in the National Guard. I have 30 family members in jail for murder. My grandson is doing life without the possibility of parole.
Wow.
You will reap what you sow. But the good thing out of all of that is that Jesus came into our lives, and my family has went from 80% gang infested to 80% in church. So I'll take that.
I would take that too, my friend. So John, you made a powerful point that when your dad left, you were kind of out there on your own. You described predators, these people that came after you, that looked at you as prey, that they could grab you. I mean, I don't think we sometimes realize a lot of young men are out there and they're just being set up to be picked off by these folks who are going to use them and then abuse them and throw them away.
Oh, absolutely. You know, pedophiles came in, you know, and just seen these 6 young boys just by themselves, and gang leaders came in and pimps, and I was running errands for pimps and just the ugliness of life because I had nobody to look. I was the oldest brother.
Yeah.
I had no one to look after us. And sometimes desperate things happen when that happens. And my life turned completely around. Matter of fact, one guy would give me a gun and send me into a grocery store and have me rob it.
Good
give me $10. And then that's what I did.
He got the rest of it.
He got the rest, but I could feed my little brothers.
Wow. What was it that one day caused you to say, enough of this, I'm done?
Well, all along, God had sent an angel long before all of this. For 25 years, there was a guy, a Christian guy, one of God's boys in our neighborhood, the only white guy in the neighborhood, actually, that pursued me. And he just told me that my life could be better. And at 40 years of age, my son was shot his leg off, brutally shot. I was indicted for 50 felonies, getting ready to do probably 40 years in prison. And I just said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And I just asked God, you know, not to take away the jail time, but let me have the respect of my kids. You know, let me show my kids that I am their father, regardless of where I'm at. And that same man that was in that community, I went to him, and he started teaching me how to be a Christian man. And
at age 40?
At age 40.
Wow. What a powerful story. And then you started realizing that you had an opportunity to take what you had found in Christ and mentor other troubled kids who had been like you.
Oh, absolutely. I was the first client of this organization, and we started a fathering program, and we were teaching 2,000 men a year how to be better dads. We started a college program. Last week, we sent 52 kids to college, full scholarship.
52 kids full scholarship?
Yes.
John, that is an incredible story. Over the course of the last few years, how many young men have you helped mentor and see their lives change?
Personally mentoring, I think over 200 that I've really just personally just poured my heart and soul into. In my community, probably 20,000.
20,000?
Yeah.
And do people in that world, the gang world, listen to you because they know you have walked where they walk and it's not something abstract to you? You've actually lived that life and know something about it.
I've actually lived it, and the biggest thing is that Jesus, the Jesus in me, they can see it and sense it. It's been 20-some years, and I walked away from that lifestyle because I could with the help of Jesus Christ. And our organization, that's the way we go. Urban Ventures Leadership Foundation, we are Jesus-based. That's the only thing that works in our community.
John, if there are people out there, maybe they're not gang members, but they want to see positive things happen to young men in their community, What do you tell them to do to get started? How do they go?
You know, people have to take a stand. And at Urban Ventures, we said we're going to hold this gate. We took back that community. We're not going to let it go, because God is going to protect us. But you have to stay the course. You can't just give up. You can't get weary and say, you know, this is too much, because it can happen, and it can happen in your community. So Urban Ventures, we've taken the same territory that I roamed, and there's no gangs in it anymore.
That is a miracle, because God has allowed you to take that. What a great story. You can learn all about John and get this riveting book. It's called Bloodline, and you really should, especially if you want to do something like this in your community. You can get it at johnturnipseed.com, and you can learn about his terrific outreach program for kids in South Minneapolis at urbanventures.org. What a great story, and a great friend to have come on this show.